Okay, I'm heading out to a closing here. We're gonna kind of go over while I'm on my way in there some things that you can expect when you get to your closing, or things that we try to prevent when you're getting to the closing table and you want to make sure that there aren't any surprises. What our company really strives to do is make sure that our buyers don't have bad surprises at the closing table. One of those that I think of right away is insurance. Can be a really tough thing to estimate for a mortgage guy. So you got to keep in mind that your realtor or lender, when they put together your numbers for you, either a cost to buyer or your good faith estimate, that's just what it is. It's a good faith estimate. So estimate, not exact. So one thing that really helps us prevent any surprises at the closing table will be making sure that buyers have their insurance finalized at least a few days before they get to the closing, so that we'll know a couple things. We'll know that what that payment is and what the yearly premium is, so that it doesn't affect their closing cost adversely. And what I mean by that is that if I estimated your insurance at $900 and your insurance ended up being $1,600, then that can affect the amount of money that you're bringing to the closing table. And we want to make sure that we get that as exact as we possibly can. One of the other things that a lot of buyers don't realize when they're purchasing a home is that they need to plan on bringing secured funds to the table, whether that be that they initiate a wire from their bank into the title company's bank. The title company will give wiring instructions to you to kind of determine that for you. And then the other option you can do is just get a cashier's check. You can go to your bank, and typically a day before your closing, you'll get a number from your lender that'll say the exact amount of money that you're bringing to the table. It'll go over all those final numbers, and you can use that document or the HUD-1 settlement statement to determine how much money you need to bring, and go get a cashier's check and bring that to the closing table. One thing that is beneficial when you're buying a house is that you get a lender that's going to be there at the closing table with you. We go to all our closings. The reason we do that, somebody told me years ago that if you're not at the closing, that you get blamed for everything that went wrong. So that's pretty much the reason why we go to every closing, is to make sure we don't get blamed. And obviously I'm kidding, but really what we want to do is, this is the biggest financial decision that buyers are going to make many times in their life, and I don't want to take that lightly. And it's kind of like not going to the Super Bowl. We've prepared and we've done all this stuff to get you to that point, to not show up for game day when it's really time to put the initials down on the paper and sign and make that big decision. So you want to make sure that you get a lender that's willing to follow you through all the way to the end and sit at the table with you, so that if issues do come up, everybody's not scrambling to try to get your lender on the phone to find out what the problem is. And I've been a part of that, and I've heard of issues like that happening before, and that's really what can really make that closing process very stressful for you, for the listing agent, for the seller, for everybody, if the lender's not there to explain what's going on. The other thing is funding. Some lenders will wire money, and you need to be aware of that you may go in and close and sign your documents, but they may be waiting on a wire to come through to fund that loan. And if that wire doesn't come through until 3 o'clock in the afternoon, just because you signed your papers at 10 a.m. doesn't mean that you're getting the keys to your house. So they may actually hold up that you taking possession of the house until all of the money has changed hands and they've gotten the wire. That's one benefit that we have, is we fund everything by check. We're local, and we go to the closing with the check, so we typically don't have those issues. We just are there long enough to determine that there's no issues, that everything's handled, and that you as a buyer are taken care of, and money changes hands, you get your keys and move on down the road.